Impact Wrestling has been canceled by Destination America. Will be off Destination America in September, start of the third quarter. I am not surprised by this. But I'm a little bit upset because a friend of the network and a friend of the show, Gunner, is on Impact. So I hope everything turns out well for him and everybody else that has a job at TNA, because TNA is going to go down. There's nowhere else to go. It's over. It's done. This proves my point. Dixie Carter should have never ran this company. They should have kept it with Jeff Jarrett. They didn't do it. They got rid of him and his father so she could run it, and it's ridiculous because she's never run a wrestling company in her life until now, and she's never been around it, and she has killed it. Ratings are down. Storylines are crap. You can't get by. You can't get by with good wrestling. You need a storyline to build up the match. Not everybody's going to just want to watch the match. They want to watch a build-up. And there's no build-up. Dixie Carter, you have ruined TNA. And now TNA is being sued by many wrestlers, former talent. I don't know why I said many wrestlers. I mean, it's only one.
Who is suing them? Because I didn't know that.
Eric Bischoff's son is suing TNA Wrestling, and from what my producer has just told me, because he is listening to the show, that she was on Stone Cold's podcast. Stone Cold, I deeply apologize for you having to sit talking to her. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either. That woman has no ground or no anything involved in wrestling. She knows nothing of that industry whatsoever. You know what? The saddest thing about it with her, you know when I saw the end of TNA? You know when I saw it?
4 years ago?
When basically they tried to make their big move, and big push up to a mainstream type ordeal, I saw this happening when they brought in Hulk Hogan. When they tried to bring in Hulk Hogan to be like a guy who was in charge of the whole company and everything, when I saw they tried to bring him in this industry, that's when I figured, like, okay, yeah, that's the beginning of the end for them.
Well, here's what's going on. Yeah, this month, Destination America has dropped unlocked and greatest matches from their programming. So this has been talked about, and it was reported by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, reported that Destination America has decided to cancel Impact by late September 2016. I mean, it comes as no surprise since they've already dropped two of the shows Impact had on the program. And separately, Eric Bischoff and Jason Hervey sued TNA for breach of contract for failing to pay $100,500. That's no joke. $100,500 from January to March 2015 for the roles as TNA executive producers. The lawsuit also featured talent Garrett Bischoff, who is Eric Bischoff's son, claiming being owed $13,000 from the period of October 2014 to March 2015. So TNA, I don't know what to think right now. TNA's done.
You think
all you TNA believers out there, it's over. The ride's over. And you have no one to thank But Dixie Carter, who had no business, none, to run a wrestling company. Her daddy gave it to her on a silver platter. Guys that had a Panda Energy. Her dad gave it to her on a silver platter saying, here's a wrestling company, do something with it. She killed it. Congratulations, Dixie Carter. You ruined TNA wrestling. All those jokes you have doing storylines for you, they ruined it. You try to bring in former WWE creative writers who got fired because they were writing stupid crap. You brought them over to TNA, and they weren't doing nothing there either. You ruined it, Dixie. Congratulations. You ruined it.
They even tried to bring in Vince Russo.
Oh, my. Don't get me started.
You remember that. You remember they tried to bring him in there.
Oh, I do, but the only reason Vince Russo worked for the WWE was because he had someone above him giving him the okay for his work.
Yeah.
At TNA and WCW, he had nobody to answer to. And we saw the nightmare of those storylines unfold.
Oh, Lord, I can't even. Yeah.
Good job, Dixie. I'll never have you on my podcast.
I'll never even talk to her. I'll put it to you this way: if I ever seen her in person, I'll mean-mug the crap out of her, and literally will hold everything in my car not to call her a derogatory term because she deserves it. She destroyed that great company that TNA.
My thing is here, the reason I'm upset is because we know a talent that wrestles for her, and he is one of the most nicest guys I've ever met in my life. He's been on here a few times. Tell you what, it makes me mad that wrestlers like him are being looked over. You have a man that's almost 50 years old as your world heavyweight champion in Kurt Angle. When you got young guys like Eric Young, Gunner, Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, I'll even throw the Hardys in there, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Wolves, Kenny King. You got all those young guys. And you're telling me Kurt Angle deserves to be the world heavyweight champion? That's ridiculous. It's Kurt's job to put over the young guys, to get them ready for the future, not be the world heavyweight champion and beat them down like John Cena's done for years now.
Yeah.
And exactly what Hogan did in WCW.
And it's what Kurt Angle has done in TNA.
Done that. You hold them down, and that's what killed WCW, and that's what's going to kill TNA, because she will not put anybody over.
Nope. We have to really just think about what you just said there. Kurt Angle, who's almost 50 years old, who was barely standing as a champion, who's barely standing in this industry, he is your main champion. Kurt Angle, who is old as dirt, is your main champion. How does that make any sense at all? Seriously, how does that make any sense?
It makes no sense. And she is so paying people. Well, Dixie, if you'd stop being at the Universal and have people get in for free, maybe you wouldn't have a money issue. And maybe if you gave out a good product, maybe you wouldn't have no money issues.
Well, that's the thing. Even if she tried to get people in for free, they still wasn't going. That's the sad part about it. She literally had people going into her events for free. But yet, what good did it do? It didn't do nothing good. Because quite frankly, even though they went in for free, they still wasn't going. Because they know that program was a joke.
You know, I've been to TNA events before. Okay, I was at Lockdown in 2011. I had front row seats. I had front row seats to Lockdown. I went to a live show, and I had the time of my life. I'll be honest with you, it was awesome. This is when TNA was good. I'm so sick and tired of these older guys stepping over the young guys. Give the young guys a chance, and maybe it'll save your company.
It's too late now. Unfortunately, it's too late now. Because there's no hope.